We got the Christina in the corner, and she's gonna help me read comments so that I don't get too zoned into what I'm doing. Got the TV going here. Yeah, so there's a delay, probably so that I can't like do something stupid on. And it's not muting, but I can turn the volume down. Oh, I can't. I have to mute it on this. There we go. But now, how do I bring the comments up? Live chat. Connecting to live chat. So, type a comment, will you? Or I guess I can. Yo. Oh, cool. Alright. I guess you want the laptop? Let's see how it goes. So now this tells me I've got 4 people online, and I don't know what that symbol means. Let's see here. So we can zoom. I think that zooms in, that reverses, and then that zooms. That's the farthest out. All right. So, what's up? All right, we got Memorial Gardens. What's up, my man? I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but it's I tried to show the progress I've made on my fire drake here. That is a Etsy. I got it off Etsy. It's a 3D print of Vulcan He Stand, who's he's the forge father of the salamanders. And I've got most of the work done on him. Gotta do some touch-up work and some detailing. Bring the golds out, finish up his spear. I was messing around with the lighting, trying to tinker with being able to show him a little better without drowning anything out. I don't know if that helps. What's up? Oh, is that blinding you? No, we don't need it. So whenever I'm driving with Christina, no matter where my watch is, it always blinds her. I don't know what's up with that. So Techno Kid 987 is asking for a shout out. Does that suffice? Yeah. What's up, brother? Let me see. Good thoughts from the UK, Nathan, 1969. You paint too, nice. I do all sorts of models. We do Gundam. We do just. Let me shut the. Can you guys hear the dryer? I got the dryer going. Can you guys hear that, or should I shut it off? All right. So, for starters, I need to select a paintbrush. I need something to do fine detail. So anybody that's been following my channel knows I'm an elite level competitive powerlifter. I just had bicep surgery, but I'm also a big dork, and I like painting model kits. So I don't really know what to do now that I'm hobbled. I guess earlier I was doing one-arm workouts. right. So we're going to give this a go. We got Meaden Titanium White, best white paint on the planet. Just a little dab will do. I've got a couple different brands. Vallejo. This is also a pretty good one. But I found for the money, the Meaden is the best one. What we need to do here is I'm going to paint 2 dots for his eyes. It's okay if we get a little overspill, because then when we add the color of his eyes over it, the white part will give it a glow effect. If any comments pop up, you just read them. You know how it is if I get sucked into what I'm doing here. Who wants to know what? What did the doctor say? Nothing yet. I had surgery. I have an appointment in a week, and they're going to take the cast off and take a look at everything. The only thing I have to do is make sure that there's no swelling or seepage, infection, that kind of thing. I'm not supposed to take it off though. So essentially I'm stuck in this thing for a week, and then I'll go into the doctor, they'll pull it off. And then we'll go from there. That's when they'll fit me with a removable cast, a Velcro one, and I'll start my physical therapy. It sucks. Because I can't, I don't know, man. I'm glad I got the surgery done. So it was like for Christina, it took months and months and months. It starts with a primary care physician, and then from there it goes to a specialist, and they send her to a neurologist, they send her to an orthopedic specialist. Eventually she wound up at a surgeon, and now we're into, hundreds of dollars of co-pays, months and months of back and forth and getting nothing done, and her pain getting worse, and people not taking her seriously, until they got an MRI, and then they could see that she had an impingement on her bone that was digging into her labrum and snagging probably her sciatic nerve in there with it. And then they finally went in and they repaired the labrum, they shaved the impingement, they did some other things, and now she's finally recovering. Me, I literally tore the bicep off my bone, went to the ER the next day, and within a week I had surgery. And a lot of it was luck, because the surgeon happened to be at the hospital that day, and he happened to catch that I came into the ER, and he happened to ask for an MRI, and a lot of it, I got lucky. But, having the VA as a one-stop shop, as opposed to having to go, to a primary care physician. And then on top of that, like when the surgery was done, the pharmacy's right there. So in order for her to get pain medication, the doctors won't prescribe anything because of liability. That whole opioid epidemic. Like doctors can lose their licenses if they get caught prescribing pain medications. So they won't even do it now. Now they won't even do it. You can go to a dentist and they can pull your teeth and they won't give you pain medication. Yeah, it's actually a really memorial. It's actually a really common injury. We see it in construction. You see it in weightlifting, arm wrestling, runner boy. Yeah, the surgery went well. It's hard to say. I mean, I haven't. Here's what I can tell you. I don't remember a goddamn thing. Oh, and in there, I fell asleep. I had to wait about an hour for the surgery, so I was asleep on the table. I don't remember them putting me under. I don't remember them waking me up to do the nerve testing. I don't remember them giving me the shot in the shoulder to block the nerve. I don't remember anything. I woke up and I was in front of my house. I'm like, cool.
He says, man, we can get opioids over the counter without a script, so easy in the UK.
And, you know, so I'm somebody that is a drug addict, so I don't want to take stuff if I don't have to. But I can assure you, if they pull your frickin' molars out, you need something. You know, and then, you know, and that's the other thing is every time we went to the pharmacy for my wife, they treated her like she was some kind of drug addict that was just trying to get pills to get high. And it's like, no, she just had surgery, actually. What's up, Mikey? I believe you have to regain full range of motion over a few weeks. Yeah, so the rough schedule is after a week they pull this thing off. I start physical therapy. They fit me with one that's removable so I can keep it immobilized, you know, for work and stuff like that. And then, you know, within 3 weeks I should be doing full range of motion exercises, and it'll be less than 3 months before I'm training. Now, as far as powerlifting training, that I'm not sure about. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you Foth. That's good, my guy. Hey, you know what's cool, though? In the meantime, I get to catch up on all my little Warhammer dudes. And I illustrate left-handed, so I might start doing some artwork too.
That would be good.
I've been getting to spend way more time with the family, so that's neat. Man, I'm super angry at my daughter though, because I just found out she's been stealing my sweets from me. She's been robbing me of my cookies. Alright, so now I think I want to do red here. We're going to go with, let's go with dragon red. Oh no. Oh no, should I go with, yeah, we'll go with red. Who? Oh, JT and Mike. What? Oh, they're messaging you.
No.
Allison. Looking mad anabolic. I haven't trained in 2 weeks. Actually, that's not true. So this morning I did curls with one arm and some pull downs. What's up, Tambo? Oh, natty. I'm as natural as a Nature Valley granola bar. Actually, right now, I'm not on anything. I haven't been for a few weeks because of the surgery. You don't want to be on a ton of stuff. You can mess with healing. Anything that can lower your immune system. Now, there's protocols for healing, and I'll be going on those. Peptides, certain anabolics can promote healing, but whenever you're getting ready to have your body cut open, you're essentially causing major trauma to your system. And if you want to get rid of anything like I won't take any anti-inflammatories like Motrin or Celebrex or things of that nature. But that also includes PEDs. We're a big fan of peptides in this house. So I'll be going on probably TB 500 and BBC 157. But even that I'm going to hold off until my initial doctor visit. Just to, I want them to look at it. You know, because like right now, I don't have any signs of infection, but I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I haven't physically seen the cut. Ronnie or Arnold? Oh, that's a tough one. They both have their merits, but I would have to go with Ronnie. Is what too expensive? Did you look into stem cells? Oh yeah. The people I work with actually get stem cell therapy. They go down to Mexico to do it, and it's like $2,000. My wife says hi to you both. She wanted to know who I was watching all the time. Ha! She said you and Christina seem like really nice people. She's still a little camera shy. We give her some time when she starts training. I'll tell you what, Christina's a machine, man. She trains harder than I do. And that's not even a joke. I lift heavier, but I don't train nearly as hard as she does. I really think so. I guarantee it. You have a much more comprehensive training regimen than me. And it's actually a lot of fun. I like going to the gym to just do what you're doing sometimes as a change of pace. Well, just like, you know, when you were deadlifting with me that one time. All right, so we got his pauldron. That's looking good there. I think we'll go with... Who do we want to go there? I want to go with Nocturne Green, I think. It's a good thing I'm left-handed. No. Nip slip. I'm a little, you know what, you're just gonna have to work with it. You call it a free show. Let's see, we got William. What happened to my arm? Well, I was playing myself in the shower and I slipped. Is there a video or was it live stream of the injury? Oh, I got it on video. It was on live stream, but I made a short out of it. Anytime I injure myself, I make sure and capture. I put that on, usually in a short for posterity. That time I almost killed myself on the bench press. I got that on there. And that's mostly because that's a very teachable moment and I want people to learn from it. Because as careful as I am, it was a lapse of concentration and I almost killed myself. You know, and then we were having the philosophical debate of whether or not I should continue to train, and because it's dangerous and you can hurt yourself, and it's like, you know, everything has risk to it. You know, a lot of guys that I work with are into motorsports. You know, they go out in the desert and they ride motorcycles and stuff like that, or snowboarding, or, you know, rock climbing. You're a rock climber. Well, what happens if you fall off a fucking mountain?
Like, yeah, but I'm not gonna make it worse by continuing either. Walk away.
No, but right, but after you heal, are you going to give up on the things you love? It comes down to, you know,
once I heal, I'll be back at it. Is
it worth the risk? You know, at a certain point, I would say probably not. If you told me I was going to hurt myself every time I competed, I probably would quit But
Well, Allison says bro is literally Conquest from Invincible.
Conquest. You call me old?
Yes.
All the best mush. Thanks, Danny. Oh man, UK. I love my brothers from overseas. Not a big fan of your government, but you guys are all right.
Vladimir said hello, Iron.
What's up, Vlad? Iron Man. I like Conquest. Kind of got that old, crusty, likes to get punched in the face for fun.
Mike says young at heart.
Yeah. All right. So now we got. Let's go ahead and get him here.
And he says, hey man, if you still want to do the online coaching thing, don't forget to reach out to me. I am in desperate need of coaching.
You know, so I've been a little bit behind on getting on Instagram. I've just been a little loopy. Just kind of, but no, I will just keep sending me messages. I will eventually get with you guys, and I am down to help you out, brother. You just got to work with me. I'm a little disorganized.
You just had surgery.
More than usual. I've always been bad about checking my messages, but I do check them. I think, you know what? Let's get some green in here. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to change his... Use a little bit of nocturne green in there. That'll really bring that out. And then I can highlight the pauldrons with gold accents. So how many tabletop gamers we got in the chat? How many fucking nerds are out there with me? I can't be the only one. This is where it gets hairy. I don't want to drop this guy.
Does you paint very quickly?
Fairly, yeah. So if I leave that green, no, we'll go with gold. Oh yeah, we'll go with green. I do a 1-to-1 water to acrylic, so and that can usually be attained by just dipping your brush in water. But it's better to do 2 thin coats, because then you avoid the tendency for the paint to get too thick.
Muscle Man says daddy.
Daddy? Oh, I don't know about that.
And he says, include me. I got 2 finals due tonight, and I haven't done either.
Nice. Nothing like procrastinating.
Come on, Annie.
But you've been doing that since I met you. And I can't really say too much because I've always done the same thing. Usually I do my writing in aggregate, so I suffer from writer's block. So what I'll do is I will get the keyboard out and I'll just start typing random nonsense until it starts flowing, and then I get some of the best work that I do, and I'll just keep typing until it's all out, and then I'll go back later and pick and choose what I want out of it and refine it from there.
Mikey says, I like chess. That's a tabletop game, so I'm definitely a nerd that lives.
Yes, chess counts. My daughter's in the chess club. I was in the chess team. I played competitively. Christina plays. Actually, she's the one that taught our daughter. I didn't really have a whole lot to do with that. That was all you.
I love chess.
Um, what I want to do is I want to make a chessboard, and I want to do orcs versus space marines, and I want to make chess pieces made out of 40k characters. What happened to your arm, duty? Ah, I already went with that joke. I was gonna say I had my thumb up my butt in the shower and I slipped. Did you get your bicep tore? Yeah, completely off the bone. It sheared right off of the whole tendon, popped right off in one shot. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. So now we're going to add some. Let me see here.
Pixar by Nico says hi, how are you today?
What's up? What we got? Amarox. How long for complete recovery? 6 months. But there's a lot you can do before complete recovery. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to wait for 100% recovery to start really training. But if you're talking about projected time from sheared off the bone to 100% healed, where you can put 100% on it, it's about 6 months. Duty says sorry. Don't be sorry. These things happen. Here's what's cool about it. I'm really big into physical therapy. I have a physical therapy playlist, and when I lost the use of my leg, all that's dedicated to people that have hip issues, sciatic nerve issues. I had a fracture in my back on my L5. So that's all useful information. Other people that might have to go through something similar. So now we're going to do the same thing for the arm, and I'm going to catalog the whole thing, the whole healing process. So it's a common enough injury to where hopefully it'll be beneficial to anybody else that's going through a similar issue, and we'll get to catalog the whole thing. BPC 157, yeah, that and TB 500. All right, let me see. What color was I going with here? Oh yeah, purple. I need a purple. Let's go with some McCrag blue. I need like a dark purple base. If you look at the skin of the salamander, he's actually purple, and then it's got green highlights over him, and he's wearing salamander skins as part of his armor.
Can you bench 405?
Probably not right this minute. I can bench more than that.
Did you plan to train around the injury, avoiding pain?
I've already been training around the injury, and life is pain. This morning I was doing curls with just this hand.
And he says maybe pin a comment describing the injury. I know nobody reads it anyway, but it might clear up questions.
Oh, I'll have to think of something funny though. I'm going to say I got injured painting Warhammer figurines. These are the risks you take when you play competitive tabletop games.
Blow bicep.
Dude, you roll them dice, baby. You gotta be careful.
Wants to know what your favorite cheat meal is.
My favorite cheat meal. I don't really have a cheat meal, so I don't believe in cheat meals. I follow what's called the 80-20 rule, which means if you essentially you can have, if you eat mostly clean, 80%, we'll say, that's an arbitrary number, you can have pretty much 20% of whatever you want. So, but if I had a weakness, it would be ice cream. I love ice cream. And I have an ice cream maker, and I can take the time and I can make healthy protein ice cream. But sometimes I would just go fuck up some Oreo cookie cakes because they're delicious. Huh?
Except Della ate them all.
Except Della ate them all. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Della. All right. So now we need a mushy brush. And we're going to add some shading to it. We want to go with we'll go with sepia tone.
Have you ever considered joining the
If they'd take me, I'd join in a heartbeat. So this is if any of you know who I am, you know that I also do construction safety, and we do these meetings, these forums, these conventions, and they'll go over like industry trends, that kind of thing. And we were doing industry studies on what the most hazardous injury or industries are by injury aggregate. And the most hazardous industry is the professional wrestling. Interesting. Oh, shit. So I still have white, right? Here we go. Let's do this. Professional wrestling is the more hazardous than underwater welding, more hazardous than ironwork.
Warhammer and Jack is a 10 5. Serious bro in your life.
You go to the convention. Dude, I got discriminated against at a Games Workshop store. I was in there with my tank top on, and I had my son and daughter with me, and they were running up and down the aisles. And this neckbeard from behind the counter comes up, and he just angrily, he's like, "You guys find everything you're looking for?" And my son had a box of Necron, or I'm sorry, yeah, it was Necrons with Infernus Marines, and my daughter had some Grey Knights, like a strike squad, and I was holding the box. I forgot what I had, but my son, without missing a beat, walks up to me and goes, "Hey, this has the Infernus Marines you were looking for. Should we get this kit instead of the one you're looking at?" And I go, "Yeah, I forgot, but we've like busted out. Like, not only did we have exactly what we were looking for in our hands, we knew exactly what they were for." And the guy was staring at us like, "Oh, okay." And he just kind of angrily walked over to the corner and was just watching us the whole time. And I just thought, wow, I've never been discriminated against. That's so fucking cool. he's like, he's like, "What is this meathead doing in my space?" But a couple of the guys that work at that store, they also go to the Renaissance Fair, so I see them regularly. So we're all good friends. I don't know if any of you guys do like the Ren Fair type stuff. My wife and I like to do anime, so we do the cosplay. We'll go to like the comic book conventions, and she dresses up as a couple different characters. She has this near automata. She dressed up as Nines. She has the sword and everything. I should get her to bust it out to show you guys. It's a super expensive costume. She did. Who's the demon lord from Demon Slayer when he was a female? She has that costume. I of course went as Tenjin Izui because it's easy. I pull it off really easy, but he's not like my favorite character or anything. What are your thoughts on these balls? I don't know. I'd have to see them. Is that wrap on your arm comfy? Nope. No, it's not too bad. It's all right. What happened to your hand? I was playing with myself in the shower and I slipped. No, I was. You guys didn't see it. I was deadlifting and the bicep tore off. Muzan, yes, thank you. But not the Michael Jackson one. The one where he played the geisha costume. The one where the flame Hashira got killed. Did you do that at competition? No, I was doing it getting ready for competition. I was doing it the last lift of the last training. I was done. I had to do one lift to get, and I was done for a week. I had to hit 640 pounds on a deadlift, picked it up, almost got it locked out. Bicep pops off the bone. Done. You got snacks?
I got snacks.
The snack that smiles back. There we go. I knew there was some other light I wanted to do here. Who is here? So for anybody that's interested, this is what an actual salamander would look like from the planet Nocturne. When I first started playing Warhammer, I went with the salamanders, and for no other reason than we were at the store and I just thought their guys look cool. But I was like, why would you name yourself Salamander? I was thinking a little lizard that walks on the walls. Like, you know, you think of like tough marine names. Salamander doesn't come to mind. And in an upcoming video, I'm going to be painting an Imperial Knight with an airbrush. So that might be kind of cool. The only thing is I need inspiration. I'm not sure what faction I should affiliate the Knight with. So if any of you guys have any votes or would like to see, I could also do custom paint jobs. I could make my own chapter up. All right, I think that's all the white I need to paint on him. Got his eyes, got his pauldrons, got the sword or his spear. Oh, I guess I could get this right here. Because that'll be shaded later. Eat bullets. Thanks. Here's a joke. Wes Watson walks into a bar. I think you would have seen it, right? Ha! Hey, so is that guy going to jail or what? That's going to be really weird if he has to go back to prison with all the lies he's told about going to prison. I would not want to be that dude. I never understood the manosphere thing. I don't get it. I mean, I look at my son. He's 13. And when I was 13, I was already working. I had my first job. I was working part-time as a janitor at the grade school I graduated from. It was right across the street from my school. But I mean, we used to go, you know, we'd take the skateboard or the rollerblades or the bike or whatever, and we would go all over town, miles and miles from the house. And now kids, you know, they don't even walk to the store anymore. Like, I can't even imagine the kids like going 2 blocks by themselves. And I'm just wondering, like, so I could see where, you know, if a young man maybe struggling, maybe he's not finding women, maybe he's just not sure where to go with life. So they're probably looking for a mentor to help him out. But I just don't understand the product they're selling. I don't know what the draw is. I mean, when you look at a guy like Wes Watson, what is it about him that you would want? Is it the nice car that he rents? Is it the fancy clothes? Like, what is it? Like, what's the draw? I guess he's in pretty good shape for his age. And he's always turned on, yelling and screaming at the camera. Doesn't know how to take a joke. Takes himself way too seriously. Like, you guys make fun of me all the time. Like, we usually try to have a good laugh about it. Like, who would want to be like that? I don't get it. I don't know. He would tell the judge, ma'am, I'm ripped, rich, and rare. Yeah. And like, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'm a fucking meathead that lifts weights in his garage. Like, but I wouldn't trade anything in my life for anything he's got. He could say, the argument he would say is like, well, you don't have the option of getting a Bugatti, so of course, deep down inside, you really want it. I'm like, no, I don't think I do. Like, we got a Mustang. If we wanted to, we could trade the cars in, and I could go buy a Corvette. I make enough money. I had a Mercedes C350 for a while, and I don't know. We're just like, I'd rather spend my money on like doing stuff with the family than like having a $900 a month car payment. What's up, Kat? Sister's in the chat. We have a small house. It's like, what, 1,600 square feet? Mm-hmm. But like you and I'd rather have like a big backyard, like with a farm and stuff. Like the bigger your house is, you got to take, it's too much maintenance, plus it, like when we were renting that really big house, I don't know, it feels like a lot of empty space, where our house is very cozy. You walk in and it looks, it's very homey.
It's a mess.
It is a mess, but it's comfortable, you know what I mean? It's like, it's got a nice fireplace. It's the space you want to be in, It looks very lived in. Kids are a mess. That's what the problem is. My daughter's a terrorist. I mean, Donald Trump should put her on a watch list. Come home. Who eats all the cream out of the cookies and then puts the cookies back? She ate all the cream out of the Oreos and then put the Oreos back. Together. That's terrorism. Yeah. Scooting along with my nutritionalist coaching content. Nice. Are you posted online, Kat? I haven't checked your channel out yet. Do I need to be shouting your channel out?
Yeah, what is her channel?
Well, she talked about, she's got some poetry, some written stuff. Mm-hmm. And we had discussed her briefly starting a channel up and putting content online. And talked about not having an audience for it, but if you just do what you love, the audience will gravitate towards it. And even if it's a small audience, it'll be an audience that's interested in the content. You are an inspiration for us. Well, I appreciate that. I don't know how. Don't do what I did. No, I don't know. I appreciate that. Yeah, if anything, hopefully this will help somebody that's going through what I'm going through. Maybe we take the information we've learned and we try to pass it along. Don't worry, though. Obama will spend the next 15 years searching for her. Oh, man. I like how you're doing your hobbies. Yeah, man, we've always done this. I was doing this regularly. I have a playlist that's Warhammer and Friends. And the only reason I stopped was the live stream started taking off. And I wasn't really sure how to live stream. Like, I just wasn't sure. I didn't know if anybody would watch it or how, so right now the way it's set up is, I get too focused on what I'm doing. So she keeps an eye on the comments. That way I don't get too zoomed in. Otherwise, you'd just be sitting there staring at some meathead like, yeah, like, what's up, Julian? What's good? Well, nothing's bad. Nothing's good, but nothing's bad either. It is what it is. All right, let me see here. I think I got all the white I need. So let me start. Oh, here we go. As you get older, the dexterity goes a little. You're like, normally to get a piece ready for the tabletop, it really isn't that difficult. I'll use what's called washes, and I'll do like a base coat and the dark wash and then highlights. And it's like a 3 or 4 step process, and then they're perfect. Get them right on the tabletop. They look great as an army. When I'm trying to do like these show pieces, I really try to bring out highlights and like a glow effect. And the easiest way to do glow effects is anything you want to. Well, here's a good example. So like here's a Necron. So I went in there and I pre-painted his sword like white on the edges, and then when I went in there and painted over it with green, it looked like the green was lighter on one side and darker on the other. And it's just a really quick way to hammer those out and get them ready. Because if I had to do, like, say if I wanted to play in 3 or 4 days, painting that way, I could get all of them done in like a couple hours. Whereas opposed to this, which I really want to be a showpiece, this is like, oh, it's just tons of work. A lot of this I could do with an airbrush, but sometimes the air, like, even though, I don't know, it's just easier just to take a paintbrush and do it, I think, sometimes. Alright, so now I want to go in there and do all the gunmetal parts. So we're going to go with, we want a dark gray. That's plate mail. Like a dark silver. This is gunmetal. This is shining silver. That's a light silver. Purple tone. I thought I had almost like a real dark silver. Rough iron. Here we go. Bam. What's up?
When you go up against somebody in a fight, you can pretty much tell if you got a 60-70% chance of winning.
Let's see, I painted my front left delt from the barbell getting away from me while I was trying to push to failure a couple days ago, but today's chest day again, so I try to do bench through it. No. If you have pain in your delt, like, let it heal. I don't know. That's tough.
Oh my god, I'm covered in juice.
Are you covered in juice?
This is a bad idea.
We'll go with gunmetal. Gunmetal will work. I don't know. It could just be a minor injury. Maybe you got a little bit of a. I like to err on the side of caution. Because here's the thing. If you look at guys that blow their shoulders out from benching, what do you hear? Most 50-year-olds, they're in the gym. They're like, I used to bench 500 pounds when I was your age. Oh, did you? Well, I still do, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's like, if you injure something, let it heal for a couple of weeks. You're not going to lose your gains. If anything, you're going to come back stronger. Most of us have been training for so long, a little bit of a deload isn't going to hurt us. If anything, it's going to allow everything to heal up, and you'll get stronger. Um, and if you're just trying to, you're just trying to puff up to look good, you don't really need to go heavy. So you could probably do a lightweight workout, just focus on nice, slow, controlled reps, full range of motion, really feel things out, get a good squeeze, let it heal. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to figure out a system of training where I can still get hypertrophy without going heavy, because I don't want to lose all my gains either. I got a feeling machines are going to be my friend, because what machines will allow me to do is I can do the eccentric with one arm and then press with both. Lower it, press. Lower it, press. I could take the bicep out of it completely. That's the theory, anyways.
Jack Stibby Zero says, I want the pump. Get like a puffer fish.
Yeah. The pump. Do it. Do it now. Do it.
And J.O. Mac, I guess he's asking 40 kg.
What about it?
I don't know. It just says 400 kg. Okay.
Where? I don't see that comment.
Really?
Mike Metzer came up with a good way of working out. So that's the way we train, Steven. I do 3 warm-up sets, 3 working sets, 1 set to failure, all exercises. But where Mike Metzer got it wrong, if you look up the history of Mike and his HIT system, it was kind of co-authored with Arthur Jones, who was the creator of the Nautilus machines, and he was using Mike as a way to sell his product. So I think where Mike got it wrong, or incomplete rather, was you will eventually run into plateaus when you're doing high intensity training. And when you do, then it is completely okay to switch to volume. So what we did is we evolved Mike Mentzer's system. It's called the Forever Method. Bobby and I worked on it for about 3 years. And what we discovered is rather than constantly doing high volume or high intensity, you could do blocks. So when I'm getting ready to compete, the first block I do is conditioning, which is high rep, moderate weight. It would look like something like 50% of my 1 rep max for reps of 50 to 100. And I'll do that for 3 or 4 weeks. That's a conditioning block. I'll do that for squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, rows. And so it'll be super high rep, moderate weight, just conditioning. And after 3 or 4 weeks, we'll take a deload, and then we'll go into a more traditional training block, and it's called the hypertrophy block. That's going to take your that's your high intensity training, your 3 warm-up sets, your 3 sets to failure, and I'll do what's called undulating periodization, which means I'll rotate rep ranges. So week 1, I'll do 70% of my 1 rep max for 1 set to failure. Week 2, I'll do 80% of my 1 rep max for 1 set to failure. Week 3 will be 90 to 95%. That's going to be your doubles and triples. And then deload, add weight, keep going. Do that for 6 to 12 weeks. And then we go into what's called a peaking block. And that's where everything then becomes specific to the 3 lifts for competing. And we work on acclimating ourselves to moving heavy weight. And that's where you're going to see me, like how I trained this last 6 weeks, where it was pretty much just 3 lifts going super heavy. And I'll do that for about 6 weeks, and then take a week off before competition, and then do it all over again. Usually I'll take a couple weeks off after I'm done competing and just let the body heal. I think I've had golfer's elbow for a few months. I bought some Iron Rebel knee or elbow sleeves, and they are awesome. But if you have tendonitis, the only way to cure tendonitis is to let it heal, and you're looking at legitimately not moving the joint for 2 weeks. Just let it heal. But the cool thing is if you have tendonitis and you let it heal, it'll be stronger. You'll come back stronger. you might have to do a little bit of catch-up work. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. That's his flame gauntlet. So now we'll do some tone shading, y'all. Good Lord. That's okay. You go for it. I'm just messing with you. Della will do that thing where she tries to open the bag really slowly for like 30 minutes and just open the damn thing. You know, like rip. Don't deny yourself chips, love. I call this sepia tone. I don't know if I like it. But now we can start doing all the gold highlights. Oh, that's not good at all. I don't like that at all. We just wash that. Let me see. Let me get a different brush. Oh yeah, there we go. That's way better. Oh, that's actually perfect. So I can darken it and then put a brush over it.
Coco says, "Hey man, hope your arm feels better."
Yeah, right now it feels great. I'm on pain medication. Let's see how it feels when I have to start training. So we had Christina and I had a big weekend planned. We rented a hotel room, and since we're both injured, we're gonna do role playing. One of us is gonna be the orderly, and the other one's gonna be the patient. But we're gonna flip a coin to see which one's which. Okay. How's that look? Get in the recesses, the nooks and crannies. What was that alarm for?
Water and dirt balls.
We managed to get all of our chores done. I told Christina, I said between the both of us, we equal one useful human. I don't even know if that's true. You know. Push that down.
Window Golf says, are those resin printed?
This one is, yes. Yes, it is. Most of these are not. This is a Games Workshop plastic model. This one is Games Workshop plastic. This one is 3D resin. So I got a mix of both. All right, now now I can start doing the finishing touches on this guy. I need black. Black. Uniform gray. True copper. Abaddon black. There we go.
Do you even know, did they tell you how they reattached it? Completely off the bone, right?
Yeah. I think they used the real brand of duct tape. They didn't use that cheap stuff. A little bit of super glue. No, so they drilled into the, what bone is that? The main bone in your arm. Yeah, the ulnar. They drilled a hole in the ulnar, and they attached the tendon, I think, using some kind of a Kevlar mesh. He mentioned something like that. Lay me down. Lay me down. Let's see here. Glad everything's okay now. I don't know about okay. Hey, dude, every day is an adventure, right? How's the power and competition journey going? Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I had my bicep got tendon severed off the bone, so they did, but they already reattached it. So, like we're already moving in the direction of physical therapy. 'Tis only a flesh wound. All right, now for the fun part. Let's go with bright gold. We're going to do some dry brushing. This is my favorite part. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Oh, is the laundry done, or did you just open it?
No, it was done.
Okay. We got baby chickens. Cute little guys. All right. So I need... where did the brush go? Okay, I got you. Come here, you. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go.
So Bill's asking how's the arm. It's working when I asked how it happened.
It happened. I was deadlifting, and I was picking up 635, 40 pounds, and it sheared right off the bone. Bob's your uncle. See, look how cool that is.
How's it doing?
How's what doing?
Yeah.
Hard to say. I'm on a bunch of drugs. Yeah. Heavy deadlift with a slight arm bend. Yeah. I was looking at the camera. I don't know when I picked that bad habit up, but I'm going to switch to, I'm going to start doing hook grip again, which will solve the problem. What happens with deadlifting when people shear the bicep is they're curling the weight. You don't really see bicep. It's not that it's impossible to get a bicep tear. Nothing's impossible. There's nothing that's 100% safe. But it's like very unlikely to get a bicep tear if you keep your arms straight. Not having the use of a hand is really rough.
Smart King says just get a metal arm like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Stephen Loftus says there's a guy that have done videos where they got their arms straight on the bicep bench and they actually ripped their bicep.
And they what?
Actually ripped their bicep.
Yeah, there's guys that have done videos where they got their arms straight on the bicep bench. Oh, yeah. So this is why I'm actually a really big fan of training in super compromised position where you purposely stretch and you go full range of motion. But the key is you got to start light and you have to do high repetition and condition it. I think that if you basically wind up bulletproofing yourself. Think of it like Olympic squatters who go ass to grass, like they just start training like that, and they never have any issues squatting, and it's really a thing of beauty to watch. Well, that's that's like from day one you're starting out in these compromised positions, and you're training full range of motion. Where a lot of us we're going backwards, we're starting out from years of bad habits, and we're trying to train into those positions because they're better for us. But we've had, all those years of bad habits we got to kind of collectively try to make up for. And people have a tendency to try to push themselves too hard. Because I don't know if you, ever since I started doing Muay Thai, where I can almost do the splits again, and I'm doing all this lower body work, and I'm stretching constantly my hips, and my hamstrings, and all that stuff. And as a result, my squat's never been better. I have no problems, no pain. And I got to thinking, I'm like, well, maybe I need to start doing that for the upper body too. Uh, the biceps, like, I never do curls. I never do any. I never really do any arm day. Almost all of my physique is from compound lifts. Oh, god damn it. That's a problem. How's he looking? I don't know if you guys can see on camera. There we go. I love painting with metallics, but the problem is they spread so easily. It's so easy to make a mistake. He's starting to look pretty.
Cat says so far so good. J-Max says, what is your current cycle?
Nothing.
Do you train all the movements in weightlifting?
Uh,
Squat, carry, push, press, pull, hinge, etc.
Pretty much. My main movement, I do find 5 main movements: squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, barbell row. And then I'm a big fan of weighted dips and pull ups. I do some Olympic lifting, like snatch and that kind of thing. Uh, but I also do a lot of um, like physical therapy lifting, like horseshoe squats, uh, stiff leg deficit pulls. Uh, that's the my deadlift. I would say the majority of my deadlift training is stiff leg deficit pulls. Really awesome for the back. Grip being my limiting factor. I think that's the one thing I'm going to have to adjust in order to uh, compensate for, like, that was a, I think that's what was causing me to curl, was the fact that my grip was weak. And the other issue is when you train alone, sometimes you could pick bad habits up without realizing it. So I'm also going to start going to the gym more often. Why is that funny?
No, that wasn't funny.
Oh. You're changing your grip position. Yeah, I'm going to start doing hook grip again. I got away from doing hook grip because it's so uncomfortable. But hook grips, if you can get your thumbs acclimated to it, it's actually better. Yeah, he started.
Snake. That's a good name.
What's that?
Flying taco snake.
Flying taco snake. Let's see, what a flying taco snake. My shoes are untied. I wonder how long it took him to think of that comment. Let's see. Oh, how old are you, Flying? Well, let me guess. 14? Let's take a look. You're the first profile I'm going to look at. Let's see. Then got her gonna be 10 years finally later.
I said 72. You I said 12.
Yeah. Right. Well, no, because I can just tell when someone says like stuff like that they actually think they're like funny. Probably because other channels they get butthurt and they probably argue with them. Let's see. What do you think about gloves for certain lifts? No, I don't. Gloves aren't legal in competition, so I just don't wear them. But you know, a lot of people don't want to have calloused hands, so there's nothing wrong with gloves. If you don't want to have hands that are all fucked up, then you got to wear gloves. But personally, me, no, I'm not gonna. I won't wear them. I don't think less of anybody that wears them. I'm not ideological when it comes to lifting equipment. You know, like, so like people will be like, you see those videos where like, oh, I squatted 405 beltless. Like, okay. Like, as opposed to what? If you wear a belt, the lift doesn't count. You're like, I didn't wear underwear. So what do you think of that? I squat 405, chony free. I just, you know, or the people that are like, oh, if you use straps, it doesn't count. I'm like, count for what? Exercise? Like, you're training. The only place a lift counts is on a platform with judges. Everything else is training. So if you have a tool that's going to help you to accomplish your training goals, use it. But for me, I find that gloves actually are a hindrance. Straps can come in handy because if your grip is your limiting factor, you can be holding yourself back from getting proper hypertrophy if you allow your grip to be the limiting factor. So in that case, you'd want to use straps. Otherwise, you're leaving gains on the table. I think belts are safety tools. I think that if you're going over 75, 80% of your 1 rep max, you should just have a belt on anyways. But they do help you lift more, for sure. The only problem with wearing a belt all the time is it can it's like it can prevent people from learning how to properly brace their core, which is why I like to go belt free up to like 75%. That way you get really good ab training. Poor man's gym, what's up? Yeah, gloves definitely reduce your grip strength. That's my experience. I have a full-blown foot fetish. What are your thoughts? Hey, get in where you fit in, brother. I like to paint my toenails. Maybe some work, but you cannot close your hand as much, you know. Oh yeah, no. Well, plus the gloves reduce friction because they slide. Like when you're trying to hold 600 pounds, gloves will move. They will literally move against your skin, and they will reduce your ability to hold as much. All right, we are getting pretty close here with this guy, and I'm digging it. Do some minor highlights here. Oh, you know what? Okay.
Freshly recommend sushi.
Sushi's delicious. Just fixed my water heater. I just hope I can return this part for $300 and I don't need it. What do I think of bench press suits? I don't know. I'm not a big multiply guy. I know some people are super into it, and that's cool. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work. Like if you look at like Scott Mendelson, you know, he's got the all-time bench record of like what is it, like 1,100 pounds, and his raw bench is somewhere around 640. So that suit that he wears, which is custom made, custom tailored, adds over 400 pounds to his lift. And you could say, well, that's stupid. But then the flip side to that argument is like just to unrack and hold 1,000 pounds. I can't like think about that. That's crazy. It was so much weight. He said that his bones were flexing. So you know, it's a different sport. Um, I got nothing against it. I'm one of those guys where it's like if you enjoy doing something, you do it. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. There's always going to be somebody that thinks what you do is too stupid, and there's always going to be somebody who thinks what you do is awesome. So at the end of the day, do what you like to do. You know what I mean? And people that are like-minded and on board with what you're doing will gravitate towards you, and people that don't will talk shit and leave crappy comments. And the world keeps on turning. You know? Any food that aids in repair and healing of muscles and tissues is your best friend. Like what, Kat? Watching the shredded dude paint tiny models is awesome. Also, thanks first. I bet she had a nose and a face. Who's that? I love your nose and your face. Yeah, baby. Exactly, bro. Don't do nerd shit and lift heavy weights. Hell yeah. What's wrong with having a spotter? No, nothing. You should have a spotter. Text you a list of think of many of them you have around your home. Probably. So, you know, Christina's really into holistic healthcare. And I make fun of her, but I pretty much just do what she tells me to. What color am I looking for? What color am I looking for here? Your spotter shouldn't pull your weight and you should lift on your own. Oh, yeah. No, spotter shouldn't touch the weight. But you should have a spotter. Spotters, so the way it works in powerlifting, like, no, you never touch the weight. Um, I'll tell my spotter to take it. Like, I'll signal him, like, hey, help. No. Well, although we will do what's called force reps. So this is interesting. One thing you can do is when you get to failure, like Christina she can take enough weight off the bar, 20, 30 pounds, just by putting her hands on the bar and pushing, where I can complete the reps and we can do what's called force reps, where I'm doing real slow eccentrics, and then she can help me through the sticking points. And that's a useful training tool for overloading. Okay, I'm looking for a copper color. That's what it is. Oh, true copper. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Go. And then over that, I'll paint black, like a wash. Kind of give it that burned effect. It'll be use. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
First mail says, I don't think I hear you. You said it. But what are you painting?
This is an approximation of Vulcan Heastan, which is he's the Forge Fathers of Salamanders. He would be considered a fire drake. There we go.
Antonio said, I used to play Warhammer back in the days. We used to use Elder and we used to love the Banshees.
I got some Banshees. I love Warhammer. I actually have some Eldari I need to paint. There we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. Now we can touch that up.
Smart Harrison, I love people who are into geeky nerdy shit like this. Makes me feel proud of being into sorcery.
Sorcery. Yeah, we like Dungeons and Dragons, anime. What's that game we play with the tops? The spinny. Yeah. We haven't played that one in a while though. The Bakugan's the little ball ones. I know, right? When your brain draws a blank.
First guy says, are you excited to see what they do with the show?
With what?
The show. Warhammer?
Oh, yeah, I'm still waiting. They haven't done anything yet. I don't know. I'm actually kind of worried, to be honest with you. I think if Amazon gets its hooks in it, they're going to ruin it. Just like they did Lord of the Rings. Like, it's unforgivable what they did to Galadriel. You can't see the model, but I have to brace it here for a second.
Mila says, all dudes are secretly into Warhammer. Just do not tell most women.
Yeah. There was this theory that everything that men do, whether they realize it or not, is to impress women. And I was like, not everything. Painting figurines, I don't know. I don't know if that does it for most chicks. But there's something about the expression of art, and just like really, like, it doesn't have to be this, it could be anything, but it's just like really trying to just like bring out your perfection, whatever that is. All right, now let's see if we can bring some of these whites out. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do that with a dry brush. That's what we're going to do it with.
Unicorn just says, "Hey man, just got here and haven't caught your stream in a bit. What happened to the arm?"
I was playing with myself in the shower and I slipped.
Mark Gamer said he's getting a metal arm transplant so he could be like Bucky.
Hell yeah.
Process.
No, I was, you know me, I was deadlifting and it went awry. God damn it. This is not having the effect I wanted.
Bill says I take a bionic leg all day. That would be sick.
Alright.
Are you putting your gas?
Well, the white's too heavy. Yeah, actually, I need to dry it a little.
First guy says, haven't seen them yet. Comparing to the Warhammer. Still afraid to watch the Wheel of Time because of that. Hoping Henry Cavill, being a Warhammer nerd, pushes back on Amazon pulling stupid stuff.
Oh yeah, well, so as soon as they announced Henry Cavill involvement in Warhammer and Amazon taking over, that is right when Games Workshop tried to push the female Custodes stuff. This is a custodian. They have been all men, and they always fought alongside the Sisters of Silence, which are all women. So the argument was none of the custodians have been women and they shouldn't be women. So immediately all the leftists started saying, well, you're just anti-women. You just don't want women in your little silly game. And I'm like, I have factions that are all women. Literally, that's all they are is women. But what it is like men aren't allowed to have their own thing. It's like the whole trans and sports thing, like, well, all the shit that's been going on the last. Yeah. Hopefully Trump's putting an end to that nonsense. I don't want to get on my soapbox, but.
Dr. Winkle says, damn, you like Shane WWE wrestling.
Which one's Shane?
I don't watch WWE, so I don't know. Shannon says, well, hell, even artists can enter their work in fair competitions. So true.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. There's lots of people that just paint figurines. They don't do any of the tabletop gaming. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So far, so good. This is the part I hate. Trying to put the finishing touches on. You gotta just, like, at a certain point, you gotta go, it's good enough, leave it alone. It's never good enough. Oh, that should be silk, so I need to do, okay, hold on here. So I need a bright yellow.
Smart Gamer said he started doing Zercher shrugs recently. He hasn't tested it yet, but he's pretty sure his deadlift went up. Some dude asked for help at the gym and he lifted 185. And felt way lighter.
Zercher shrugs. I love the Zercher movements. Oh, when are you gonna? Well, you don't have to max out to test your max. You can do like you could do like a good solid triple or a, even a set of 5 and test it out and get a good approximation. What's funny?
Too bad you're injured. I enjoy calling you gay.
Yeah. What does being injured make you less gay or something?
Since we already have female space marines, they're called Adeptus.
Sororitas, yeah. I have a shit ton of them. Sisters of Battle. But that's not the hope. That's not the point. The point is that men are not allowed to have their own thing. Why is it the Boy Scouts are now the Scouts, but the Girl Scouts are still the Girl Scouts? You know what I mean? Like, it's just men are not allowed to have their own thing. That's what it is. And hopefully we're going to put a stop to that nonsense.
Realize it was just 2 regular shrugs. Fams or shrugs are just a variation.
I don't do shrugs, I'll be honest with you. What I like to do is when I overhead press, I do extended range of motion. Like, if you look at the back, this right here, that's just make sure you're pressing all the way through and you'll hit your traps really nicely. That, in between deadlifts and rows, you don't really have to do shrugs. Not saying there's anything wrong with them if you do them. You just don't have to.
Mr. Generic said, "You're that guy."
Which guy?
That's awesome. The weightlifting guy from Vegas.
That's me. That's me. How's it looking so far?
Pipe 2K says, "What army figurine would you consider beginner friendly?"
Beginner friendly. Well, Necrons. Because you can do most of them with a silver marker. Necrons. Tyranids are pretty friendly. They're pretty easy to paint. Grey Knights are not too hard. Custodes are mostly, well, you gotta get good with metallics. Definitely not salamanders. Salamanders suck. And that's all I've been painting for like the last year. I do not like salamanders. I like them. I just don't like painting them.
There's Iron.
Yeah, he's back there. He was hiding out. All right, so we got that. Looks pretty good. Necrons are pretty easy. Grey Knights are pretty easy. Tyranids are pretty easy. Orcs are really easy. You can't really mess orcs up. Even if you don't paint them right, they're orcs. Like, they're basically hobos in space. If their clothes look like shit.
You know Tom Haviland?
Tom Haviland, isn't he an arm wrestler?
expensive hobby.
Yes. But you can go onto like eBay or Etsy, and you can get you can save some money by buying people's used lots. A lot of people buy them, and then start putting them together and decide they don't like it, or they just lose interest or whatever, and they'll sell them on eBay pretty cheap. So that's what I would recommend, is like going on eBay, getting a cheap set of somebody's, and just paying them up, seeing if you like it. But yes, it is super, super expensive. They charge way too much money for these little fucking plastics. It's bullshit. Uh, I don't know. It's just so much fun, though. There's just something about it. Mm, 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 mm. That should be yellow. What's up?
So you might want to read these. Rilla is going
Let's see. I tried to felt badass. Way better, in my opinion. It's definitely not for everyone. Skin bruise and didn't feel good for him. What's that? Smart Gamer 999. Is there? Oh, the Zerchers. I love Zerchers. Lifting is supposed to make your skin bruised. Well, um, most power lifters are not sane people. But yes, no, you're not supposed to injure yourself lifting.
Hobgoblins is strongman competition by 8 a.m. Warhammer tournament by 2 p.m.
Damn right. And you know what's funny is if you go to any powerlifting gym or strongman gym, um, you'll find that a large percentage of them are like this. You know, we were the kids that got picked on in high school. We have body dysmorphia. We got daddy issues. We got all sorts of stuff going on.
Virulence is buff Bruce Willis. Ghost Rain.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, I hope your surgery went well. I'm really sick right now, and I'm just about to see the junior EC to the painting grid.
So far, so good. So far, so good. Almost done with this guy.
Mick Junior said I always had a problem with shaving my shins doing conventional deadlifts.
Oh yeah, that's why you got to get a deadlift bar, because there's enough knurling where your freaking calves are. You'll notice, like, I've never had an issue with that, because I actually went ahead and ponied up the money and bought a deadlift bar.
Ian's in the house.
Who is?
Ian.
Oh, Ian's in the house.
That's literally.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the chicken. What's up, Ian? All right. So now, all we got to do is dry brush.
Mr. Generic says I use a hex bar now.
Hex bars are great. I like to rotate through them.
do deadlifts when you're taller?
Everything's harder when you're taller, but it really comes down to leverages. For example, Christina is 5 foot. She's an inch taller than me, and you would think that our leverages would be similar, but she's got longer legs, and a longer torso. You got long everything.
I do sumo.
So it's hard for her to do conventional pulls, even though we're the exact same height. Whereas for me, it's hard for me to do. I have a hard time with sumo. My proportions are such that like everything seems to be like pretty like I don't have any advantages or disadvantages. I'm like even across the board. Hola.
Atomic Society is asking, how did you measure up your arm?
Trying to think of a new joke. I was doing deadlifts and I popped my bicep. I was gonna say I was thumbing my butthole in the shower and I slipped, but I already said that one. No, I was just doing deadlifts and it just popped right off. Very not anticlimactic, but what's the word? Unceremonious. You know, very.
Mario's asking, can you get stronger off callus alone?
What do you mean? Stronger for what?
Calisthenics, I think is what he's asking.
Oh, calisthenics? Yeah, you can get stronger off anything as long as you apply the principles of progressive overload. As long as something increases and you force your body to adapt, you'll absolutely get stronger. I think one of the best squat accessories is sprinting. But in order for it to be a good squat accessory, you have to push yourself. So you have to sprint harder than you did the last time. Sound like Greg Doucette. Do you ever read the Bible or pray? Yes, often.
Did you scream?
I don't know. Did I scream in the
I
video?
didn't really scream, but definitely grunted,
Yeah.
growled.
I have it on video if you want to watch it.
And he's back.
You don't use straps. Yeah, I would agree with you, but the problem with that is you can't use straps in competition, so kind of need to have straps. Or I mean, you have to go. You can't use straps. Although I would say for training purposes, I think I'm going to start using straps more often. Just because it's way easier to if grip's your limiting factor, straps overcome that. I am almost done. Just a couple finishing touches here. Oh, you bastard.
Maybe Zia is asking what they're on. Those are the ones we did.
No, you don't have to delete them. I don't care. I'm not on anything right now. Oh, yeah, I'm on Percocets, or no, what are they called? Oxycodone. That's what I'm on. Wee. Doctor prescribed, kids. Take as directed.
Matthew says, I'm returning to Christianity. Can you give any advice?
I'm trying to return to Christianity. I always tell people to read the first 4 chapters of the New Testament. Um, that's really a personal thing. Uh,
It says get a Bible, Matthew. Go to church and pray each day and night.
well, I mean, it really is that simple. Start reading the Bible. But like, what does return to Christianity mean? Like, I'll never, ever, ever go back to the Catholic Church. I actually think the Catholic Church is a satanic organization, and then we can get into some tinfoil hat stuff there. But matter of fact, because I grew up Catholic, I was I don't want to say an atheist, but I was definitely agnostic for a very long time. I don't do well with hypocrisy. And one thing I saw with the Catholic Church was a bunch of hypocrites. People that did one thing and said to do another.
Like 90Z.
But then when I realized something, in times of trouble, it's, the forest for the trees, because those people had nothing to do with what I consider to be a personal relationship with God. And the first thing I would admit is I don't have all the answers, and I'm not sure about all of my beliefs either. I'm very open-minded.
He says thank you.
I will say this, though. Every time, and the reason why I consider myself to be a Christian is because every time I've looked to the Bible for help, it's always been right. Because I used to study theology. I have got a Quran. I've got a Book of Mormon. We have Buddhist teachings. We studied mythology. We studied Greek, Roman, the Roman pantheon, the Greek pantheon, Norse. One thing I was on a journey was to discover not necessarily why the stories were similar. So the argument was like a lot of, they could say like Christianity stole a lot of its stories from like Gilgamesh or the Sumerians, and that was a typical argument of like, well, if it can't be true if it's the same as but my argument was like it wasn't necessarily like whether or not the writing was true or specific to one period of time, but why is it that these archetypes and stories persist over time, and why is it that we seek them?
And the similarities.
Yeah, so it was more of a journey to discover what the truth is and why the truth persists. And can you find meaning in that? But the one thing that struck me with the Bible is that there seemed to have been, it was the only book that I found actual historical correlation. And that really kind of, struck a chord with me. There's a lot of things that happen in the Bible. You know what I mean? It seems like it's predicting the times we're in fairly accurately, but you could also make the argument that kind of like Nostradamus's quatrains, it's easy to fit something, fit predictions to past events. It's a lot easier to fit predictions to past events than it is to predict the future. Because I personally think like Nostradamus' stuff is bullshit, like 100%. And so would he. He was like a fictional writer. I don't know. I've been finding a lot of meaning in the Bible. But that being said, I am not a man of perfect faith by any stretch. You could even say, like, if you go by the Bible, technically what I'm doing right now is considered idol worshiping. I'm not allowed to have my satanic Warhammer figurines. Like, all right. Now we're going to do some cheating. What does this kid do with all my stuff?
Those are swole motherfuckers that make Warhammer 40k figurines.
Yeah, yep.
They will as be modern philosophers.
You're right. I forgot which philosopher I was studying on the toilet this morning, but I believe that there is a lot of value in playing stupid. I used to have a chip on my shoulder, and when I grew up, I wanted to be recognized as smart and intelligent and competent, and I wasn't. So I went on a wasted effort to prove myself as being the best of the best, and you could say that's probably where this competing and powerlifting came from. It's like, why do I need to be the best? But now that I've progressed in my profession and I work along a bunch of other infantile egomaniacs, I realize something, that there's a great power in letting people underestimate you and just playing the fool, like being the dummy. It's a lot easier. It's a lot less stressful. And you don't have to deal with egos. What the fuck are my highlighters? This makes me angry. All my highlighters are gone. Give me a second, guys. I will be right back. I'm going to hopefully repossess one of my highlighters. How long have we been online, sweetheart?
My phone doesn't tell me.
Huh?
My phone doesn't tell me.
Let's see. So we've been on just right about 2 hours. What's
Tour.
up, Joker?
Junk drawer.
They're all gone.
We
All.
have a tour. You want to shoot it, right?
Oh, good Lord, no.
It's a mess.
Yeah. But I used to have a shit ton of yellow highlighters, and now they're all missing. And a highlighter is a perfect shader tool for doing flame effects.
Do you want one? I can go inside and get one.
Nah.
Moses corpse man is the best part of the corpse.
What's up?
Corpse man.
Corman. Corpse man. I'm like, what the fuck is a corpse man? Corman. Yeah. We love our docs. I don't know if it's the best part of being in the Corps, but we definitely love our docs. They are beloved.
When is the expected recovery?
3 weeks to start training. 6 week or 6 weeks to be able to start loading. 6 months total.
Can they train Muay Thai without getting head trauma?
Yes. You shouldn't get head trauma.
I need a hobby like this, something zen.
This is not Zen. No, it is for the most part, but when you get to the detailing part, it's maddening.
What do you think about using MK677 as a growth hormone booster?
I don't know enough about SARMs to say. I am not a SARMs expert. I have a lot of friends that take it and they swear by it, and I just don't know. SARMs scare me because there's not enough human trials on them.
Sounds like a long recovery, but hopefully it goes well for you.
Yeah, it's pretty typical. Most injuries, like like an MCL or an ACL repair, is a year. So it's actually not too bad.
You have trouble. Mark, the girl next to me at the gym said someone's body odor is killing me.
Yeah.
Must be you, Mark.
Well, honestly, when I was boxing, my trainer told me to put deodorant on one time.
John said, Mark, tell her it's you and she should give you a bath.
Yeah, hell yeah. Start rubbing your nipples and say you like that. There's more where that came from. Should I just paint this fucker gold to begin and be done with it? I'm just not liking that.
Oh, yeah, the flag is on the floor, Charlie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Must be from the wind.
Well, that's not good.
Read your comments. Take a break. I'll get the flag.
No, just leave it.
Sure.
Yeah. What we got here? And no to MK677. No, I wouldn't say no to it. I just say I'm not the guy to ask. Um, obviously it works, otherwise people wouldn't use it. I just, so the thing about SARMs is they just don't have long-term studies on them. For the longest time they were saying SARMs were the safe alternative to steroids, they wouldn't shut your natural production down, and that turned out to be false. I don't know. I mean, MK677 might MK677 is still going to make me natural. No, I wouldn't say that. If it's banned by WADA, then you're not considered natural. All right, I think there's just a couple finishing touches I got to put on this guy. So that's blue. We're gonna go with purple. that they were asking you about the cigarette. Was that weed? Was that, I believe that was a hemp cigarette. That's what it smelled like. Which we're not supposed to have on streaming, by the way. That's illegal. That you're not allowed to be.
I didn't know I was on the camera.
Yeah, just so you
I
know.
didn't know anybody even saw that.
Yeah. Just so you know. I don't think they'd care. I mean, it was obviously an incidental. Turkesterone. Turkesterone is snake oil. As far as I can tell, I don't know if turkesterone does anything. I've not seen any human trials on turkesterone. I've not seen one single study. There's a study that suggests that it has anabolic properties. And the second that study came out, they just packaged the shit out of it. Let's go with the light green here. We're going to go with the wild green. No, I think turkesterone's a waste of money, personally. Like, you're going to spend all that money for stuff that might be anabolic. But people are just, like, at what point do you just do steroids? You know what I mean? I don't know. This is like the whole natural versus not natural thing has just become so sanctimonious. Insufferable almost. There we go. That's the color we wanted. Carry on our wayward son. And where are all my silver pins? There'll be peace when you are done. Missing silver markers. I can't stand it, man. It doesn't bother me that she uses my stuff. It bothers me she doesn't put any of it back. I do love these markers. You can buy them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They're big time savers. Great for doing like edge highlighting. All right.
It says every time I had surgery, I was nervous to not wake up after anesthesia.
Dude, anesthesia is scary, man. It is. Anesthesia is scary.
I had some surgeries to fix a femur fracture.
I would say that the recidivism rate, if I was reading the numbers right for surgeries, or the failure rate is like 40%, meaning like you have a 40% chance of needing additional work done. Which is why we always try to recommend people don't get surgery if they can get physical therapy, but sometimes you just can't avoid it. What do you think, guys? How's he looking so far? You get some lighting in here.
This is, we call it freeing the nipple.
What do you think so far? I think that's enough for one day. What do you think? Then the only thing I'll have to do is touch up the base. And we're done. What do you think, babe?
It looks really cool. Really cool.
Now the fun part. One of these things is not like the other.
Jeffrey says, looks so dope. Torians is dragging. Jeff is, oh yeah, that is sick. Dark Universe is beautiful. Listen, I was actually in the shower on one foot and fell out of the tub the other day.
Ooh. Fell out of. You
You
need a life alert. What happened to your arm?
Do another one.
I was gonna work on him next. Finish him up. He's almost done. And I got a whole bunch of other ones. But the missus and I have a date. We are going to. We have a night booked at a hotel. And she's going to do some belly dancing. There's a bit of a story there, huh? And even though I got surgery, I'm not going to let it ruin my weekend. And you said you wanted room service. So the hotel room's already paid for. We bought it before I knew I was even going to have surgery. But I have all these, I have a ton of figurines you can't even see on the camera. There's about 40 of them in front of me. All of them are half started. I'm just going to pull these out here. Put that in now. So now we can talk to you guys for a little bit. I'm not getting up just a second. Kat and I should make it a double date. Well, get your ass out to Vegas, man. Yeah, we're always looking for, you know, people to go, fun people to go out, hang out with.
Kat said, John, I don't think my boyfriend would like a third wheel.
The third wheel, damn.
Oh, we're gonna play the machine gorilla, not blackjack.
Yeah, we don't really gamble. Like usually what we'll do is we'll put a few bucks in one of the machines and we'll sit at the bar and she'll have some drinks and I'll have coffee or whatever.
And I'll lose all the money and he'll win.
Yeah, well, what's winning though? Like 30
win.
bucks, 40 bucks, but it's not. I mean, it's not enough to retire.
You still win.
We have a good time though.
We do.
See, this is gonna be my next one right here. I melted some Necrons. I want to do him up. I have an Imperial Knight too. I got a whole bunch of Fire Drakes, Custodians. I have a shit ton. This is a Dark Angel. I got lots of figurines I need to catch up on. And then these are just the ones that are built. I have a ton that are still in the boxes. I got some nice showpieces to take care of. Necron's got her wet. Is the Imperial Knight done? No. No, it's not. I have to stuff them. This is not an Imperial Knight. This is a Dreadnought. But the Imperial Knight's not even put together yet. I have a giant. Oh, dude, I have so many boxes. I got Sisters of Battle on the box. I've got Necrons in the box. I got Grey Knights in the box. More Necrons. Infernus Marines. I got Intercessors, Orcs, Eldari.
Are they all 40K?
Yep. All 40K.
Someone else is complaining about your nipple.
They can just deal with it. I don't know why they're complaining for. It's a free show. They should be thanking me.
Dork.
Right? Yeah, half the time, you know, motherfuckers tell me to take my shirt off, and now you're gonna bitch because you can see a nipple. Right? What are you, a Puritan?
What was that big guy again? That one you're holding.
That is a Dreadnought. Yeah. I can't wait to do him. Although these are Terminators. These are Fire Drakes, but they're Terminators.
Mr. Generic Land Fiction. I'm hoping for a second nipple slip.
Touching's free. Or looking's free. Touching will cost you. Don't you want to paint the parts before you glue it? Yeah, that's why I haven't glued them on yet. It depends. Sometimes it's just easier just to paint it all in one piece. Almost. I just got to do the base and then I'm done. Hit it with some clear coat. Like, dude, I could do this thing forever and ever and ever and find something that still needs to be touched up and is still not perfect on it. But at a certain point, you just got to be okay with it. I am trying to perfect some techniques because I eventually want to enter a piece in a competition. I don't think I'm going to do something with scales on it though. It is just too much work. But you know, and there's like if you look up close on the scales on him, there's 10 colors on this guy. But then at a distance he just looks green.
It's not a dragon. What is that piece?
It's called a salamander, but it's basically yeah. It's what is a wingless dragon called? Is that a drake? They got wyverns, which I believe is the wyverns, drakes, dragons. Uh, it's a bearded dragon. I'd rather let the fat loss come slowly so I can increase my strength. I'm the same way, smart gamer. I believe in just strength training and letting the rest take care of itself because as you get your body closer to its natural potential, you're going to become more familiar with your limits as far as what you can and can't eat. Yeah, see these guys right here. This is a set of Fire Drake Terminators. These are all salamanders. I'm going to run these guys on the tabletop. And this right here with this character, he gives them a bonus for flame and melter weapons. So, what is the other one? So the 2, 4, 6, 8 with him, and there's one other character. His name is Adrox Agatone, and he's in my display case. And then I need a transport, like a rhino or something that can get all of these guys to like an area really fast. And I could fucking mop up in any 2,000 point army game.
Got any Gears of War figurines?
Gears of War. No. I got a lot of Gundam though. So these are all I have to do to finish my Salamander's army 100%. And then I will be completely done and I will have an unstoppable tabletop army. Or nothing's unstoppable, but pretty hard to beat. You're gonna have to bring your A game. And you know what's cool about these is like these guys are slow and plodding and they take a lot of abuse. And when they get up close, they wreck. It is like one roll and your whole army's gone. You just keep him on a this guy's good for holding objectives and he gives buffs to holding objectives. And then the other guy, Adrox Agatone, who's a fire drake, he gives buffs to flamer units, melter units, and movement. So you got one guy that gives buffs to holding objectives and one guy that gives buffs to movements. Both of them give buffs to flamer and melters. And all of these guys are up close and personal. You got a couple of them with hammers and claws. But most of them have, like this is a heavy melter. And then we do have some ranged weapons. This one's got a heavy melter and a Gatling gun. These guys have mortar launchers. Pretty badass little army. I got 2 dreadnoughts, 2 Terminator squads, 16 intercessors, 2 characters that give buffs to all of them on the battlefield. I've got 2 squads of Outriders, which I don't really use anymore. Yeah. UFC, as far as watching UFC, I don't really, I don't know, I haven't really been keeping up on it. I watch like the highlights on like, you know, whatever the sports channels are. But I haven't really been like spending money on pay-per-view or taking the time to actually watch the fights. Yeah, a large pizza and a tub of ice cream sounds good, man. Hell yeah. Who's gonna die by 30? I'm 50 years old. Yeah, you're not talking about me. Uh, Whose blood pressure? I don't know what they're talking about. Pizza and ice cream sounds like the shit right about now.
How about a burger and
Oh,
beer?
no, I kind of figured you weren't talking about me, but I was trying to figure out who you were talking about. You can have pizza and ice cream, just keep it, try to
I want a burger and
moderation.
beer. Burger and beer.
I cut my own hair.
That's what I'm eating.
Bulk at 40% body fat. Oh, Lord of mercy. You know what? I know a lot of powerlifters who all they do is gain weight so they can lift more. Do you have cheat days? No, Mr. Generic, I don't really have cheat days. I try to live by like what's called, the 80-20, 90-10 rule. If you do 80% clean, you can have 20% whatever you want. If you're eating healthy throughout the week, there's nothing wrong with hitting a little bit of ice cream or just having a cookie here and there. You know, like you're doing the right things. You're watching your calories. You're working out 6 days a week, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever it is. You gotta live a little. You don't want to be that guy that goes out to dinner with the family and orders a lettuce wrap when everybody else is like having pasta. You should be able to maintain a lifestyle where you can enjoy yourself a little bit. And if your thing is like if you're the type A personality type and you like to do food prepping and you count every calorie and you're into your macros and that's totally fine. But it isn't necessary. You don't need to punish yourself. Um, as long as you're mostly doing the right thing, you can live a little bit. I throw a little bit of dirty into my life every now and then. Yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean? You guys try that steakhouse bacon burger at Burger King? Absolutely. Burger King's been disappointing me lately, though. I think they've changed their recipe a bit. Like the Whoppers just aren't what they used to be. I don't think they're actually flame broiled anymore. I think they just run them through a little belt machine that has it's like a bun warmer or something. I don't know. There's just something off. The food just doesn't taste the way it used to. And oh, hey, smart gamer, just so you know, I'm not talking about you or anybody. I'm talking general. So, just so y'all know, I am not talking about anyone specific at all.
Even worth it for anesthetics as a teenager still growing?
Wait, what?
Is deadlift even worth it for anesthetics as a teenager?
Yeah, deadlifts are mandatory, man. Deadlifts, squats. I think there's everybody. Yeah, absolutely.
Little Joe wants to know how your arm is.
It's still there. Thanks, smart gamer. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm the most unjudgmental person in the world. I'll give you my opinion if you ask me for it, but like I don't judge anybody for anything they do. I'll tell you if I'm concerned. Look, I one of my good friends. Well, actually, I really haven't talked to him in a long time, but um, he's like the number one or two all time. What is his name? Andrew Richards. Um, Oh, isn't he over like 400 pounds now? He just keeps getting bigger and bigger, just so he could do that one overhead press. And he's gotten it to where he's like literally like either the strongest all time or second strongest all time for that one specific lift. And the guy's willing to die in order to be the best at one thing. And that's cool. Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall was willing to die to get that deadlift record. He got over 400 pounds. He almost had a stroke when he was on stage. I mean, there's guys that are just like, we're hyper competitive and we're willing to take unreasonable and unnecessary risks, and a lot of people would look at us and be like, "You're fucking nuts," and you're right, we are. Um, Over time, age and injury has tempered me a little bit. Now I'm to the point where I want to get into new things. Like I really like the Muay Thai. I want to see how good a 50-year-old can get at it. Maybe I can't get good at all, but I'm going to really try. Um, I don't want to keep hurting myself, that's for sure. But I also am so close to being enshrined in the Hall of Fame. I'm already an international elite lifter, and that's a title you have for life. Once you've obtained international elite level lifts, that's lifetime status. Um, I'm top 20 all time, and I have a real shot at national records. And I don't know why. I don't know what if I get them, someone could just turn around and beat them. Um, I don't know. I'm driven. I'm driven, and it's an obsession, and it's probably not the healthiest thing in the world, and maybe I'll give it up. But I think if this rehabs well, maybe I'll go for one more.
How long have I been hearing that?
13 years.
This is my last lifetime, my last competition.
Yeah, but I keep getting better.
I never told you to say it was your last
The
one.
numbers keep going up.
You're the one who always said that. I never said for you to stop.
I was expecting to backslide. I was expecting as I got older I would get weaker, but I keep getting stronger. Yeah. Eddie Hall popped blood vessels in his head. He lucky. He did almost die on stage. They said that. 2,600 powerlifting record. Yeah, dude, right? And it hasn't been done. For me, for my age group, my weight class, I would have to get into the 1900s. I don't see that as being likely, but I could definitely break into the top 5 all time. Are you on a cycle? Not right now, Big Chapo. I got off the stuff for surgery. He didn't know anybody who was around him after he lifted that weight, right? I don't know why we're driven. I don't know why we're driven to do what we do. And when I say we, I mean people in general. What you could be you could be nihilistic and say, none of it matters. No one will remember us in the end. Like, what difference does it make? But we were all ingrained with this drive to succeed, to have families, to pass on our names, to leave a mark, to do something. And for everybody it's different. Some of us lifting weights, some of us it's making great works of art, some of us it's literature, some of us it's teaching, some of us you could say, I don't know. And all I would suggest is that I think everybody should explore their passion. Try to find something they're passionate about and just become good at it. You owe it to yourself. Yeah, tore that tight bicep right off the bone, baby. Just like chicken that was well done in the oven. Pull that bastard out and slide right off. Yummy. Yeah. The discoveries under the pyramids. Yes, I did. I was wondering how full of shit though they were, but the injury was more likely due to your form. Well, thank you, Double A. I haven't had my daily dose of sanctimonious prick yet, so I'm glad you're on stream. Tyro's in the house. What about the pyramids? They found a structure under the pyramids, like this. It goes way down in the ground, and it's got these spirals, and they think they might be staircases. No, I really do. I appreciate it, Double A. And I watched the video, and you're 100% right. And I don't know when I started doing that. We were talking about that's the dangers of training by yourself, because I never ever used to do that. So I don't know when I picked that up, but I'm going to tell you right now one of the things I'm going to do differently moving forward is I'm going to start training a little bit more in public. I'm going to start going to the gym a little more. Lift the pyramids too, yeah. What year Prius is your favorite? Prius. When did they start making those pieces of shit? I had my MMA debut in October and a kickboxing fight in February. I've been training a long time. Any advice for someone in their 20s struggling? Um, I don't know, man. That's a tough one because we all, success is very transitory. It comes and goes. You'll find success, and the one thing that I've learned in life is that, like, for every success I've had 3 or 4 failures to go with it. So it's not an equal. It's not an equal thing, and when you do find success, it can be really hard to repeat that sometimes. The big thing is like, stick with what works, but if you find things aren't working, that's when you need to back off and, like, seek the advice of experts. I still get coaching. I still train with people. I don't train myself. We're doing Muay Thai, and I go to a gym, and we have a trainer. Everybody hits plateaus. Everybody runs into a wall, and that's when you need to have, like, the perspective of other people. You just be open minded, but go easy on yourself. Uh, with me being injured, the brain's all wants me to I want to get back to where I was. I don't want to lose anything. I want to go right back to where I was. But it's like, no, that's the wrong way of thinking about it. This is your new normal. This is your new starting point. This is where we begin our journey. So whatever happened in the past is in the past. And it sounds like you're finding some success and you're getting out there and you're doing your thing. I mean, you gotta just keep after it. But I don't know. When you say you're struggling, what do you mean by that? What are you struggling with? How long do you like to train in the north-south position? As often as my wife will let me. I really tried for a recruiter. I was bench 305 for the last 4 years, but I don't work hard to improve. Yeah. Muscle memory is the shit. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah, muscle memory is the shit, but I mean, I'm going to have to figure out a different way of doing things because I don't want to be able to, I definitely don't want to repeat uh, the same mistake. So I'm going to change a little bit of the way I'm training. I have some advice for that knee injury some time back, and I'll say, yeah, absolutely. Have you seen The Kingsman? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kingsman was a good movie. I liked it. Second one was a little stupid. The struggle I have a lot was being alone. I love someone, but I don't think the feelings are mutual, and I'm trying to get her out of my head. Ooh. Have you talked to her? Is she aware of this? He or she, doesn't matter. That's a tough one. Can't get you out of my head. Yeah. Yeah, the second one was pretty. They should have just left it at one and done. Yeah, the unrequited love story. That's like, I joined the Foreign Legion to forget. What were you trying to forget? I don't know. I forgot. You know, the this is the one thing I've learned to be absolutely true, and you can take it to the bank when it comes to relationships with other people, whatever you're into. You got to be upfront and honest, and just tell them how you feel. And if they don't reciprocate, let it go. You're done. Move on. You're wasting your time, and don't do that. But if they don't know, sometimes it's time to take a chance. You know what I mean? You got to tell them. You got to tell her about it. Tell her everything you feel. Maybe leave out the fact that you like to paint little Warhammer figurines. Wait till you're married and then she's fucking trapped. Yeah, the whole reason I compete, Smart Gamer, is so that I have that anvil hanging over my head. Huh. Iron within, iron without. Damn right. I asked her out. She said she's in a weird spot, so I take that as a no. Okay. Look, first of all, you're taking advice from a dumbass, so I'm gonna put that out there. Um, maybe leave her alone for a little bit, and then go back to her one more time, and just be upfront and honest. And if at that time she does the same thing, then you have your answer. Because she very well might be in a weird spot. Now, a lot of times girls don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so they won't just say no. They'll string you along. Friend zone. Don't do it. But she might be in a weird spot. So, maybe give her a minute, and then I wouldn't close the door on it completely. But I will say this, if she gives you the second response twice in a row, you have your answer. I don't know, we got a woman in here. What do you think, babe?
I agree.
She agrees. Flaming 99, how could I forget you? The surgery went. Christina does the buffer he get, does he snore louder?
No.
She says no. All right, guys. I'm going to take my wife to a hotel. It's got a hot tub. I don't know how that's going to work. We got belly dancing. We got prime rib. I will not be live streaming. Thanks, JJ. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude, I stream all the time. I will actually be streaming physical therapy on training. My legs still work. I'm going to be doing a little bit more of this stuff. I do some illustrating, mostly training. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. We'll see. But no, thanks for tuning in, guys. But I'm going to take my wife we're going to go out. I love you guys. And hope to talk to you again. I'll see you on the battlefield. All right.